So thanks so much. My name's Todd. I work at a company called High Res. We make games like Smite, Paladins, others, and of course I'm also here with Skillshot, and we're all about that esports. So how about the Skillshot folks in the house? So this little thing that M. Cole was talking about called the Combine, basically it's a pretty cool cooperation between partners, and of course esports is all about partnership. So thanks to the folks at Access Replay, Ali, for hosting us. Thanks for the folks at GYO, which is an amazing platform that powers this LAN center, and it tracks player stats, and it helps amateur esports players become hopefully pro esports players. That's what GYO is all about. So the way the Combine actually works is it started March 1st. It's running nationwide until March 10th. And for everyone in here that's playing Smite or playing Paladins, your statistics are being tracked, and those statistics are available to professional esports teams and also to colleges giving scholarships. And you guys are probably aware, here in the US, there's over 100 universities now giving varsity scholarships, many of those for Smite and Paladins. Thanks also for one of the pro esports teams that is in the house, the Smite World Championship team, Splice. So no pressure for anyone playing, but they'll be hovering over you. So thanks to all these partners. I think it's going to be a great event. Again, it is running nationwide through the 10th. And as a way to segue to our next speaker, of course, the stuff that we're doing at Skillshot and with Smite and with Paladins is just a little bit of all the energy that's happening locally around gaming and around esports. I mean, when we started High Res 13 years ago, there were a handful of gaming companies. Andrew, how many gaming companies are there? 161 gaming companies in Georgia. When we started, there wasn't even a word that anyone knew that was called esports. Now we host DreamHack that saw 31,000 attendees. Of course, the Smite and Paladins World Championship. You've got Georgia saying that Smite is one of 3 approved games to be played at the high school level as a sanctioned sport. You can earn a varsity jacket in Smite. It's the only thing I ever could have earned in high school. So there's so much excitement that's happening locally. Splice is the beginning of a wave of pro teams that are moving down here. We're going to have 90 professional esports players relocate or travel to the Atlanta area this year playing Smite and Paladins. And this engine of economic development is just getting started. We're just at the beginning, and a man who is behind a lot of that and really getting the government, the legislators to understand the potential of the creative industry in Georgia, Mr. Asante Bradford. Thanks, y'all.
Hey, how are you, everybody? Let's go rock the mic. No. Hey, again, hi, everybody. Tall man problems here. Real excited to be here. Again, my name is Asante Bradford. I'm with the Georgia Department of Economic Development and the Georgia Film, Music, Digital Entertainment Office. And I'm gonna say the best part about my job is when I get to meet with different folks and they get to tell me about ideas or businesses that they wanna start. And to see something like this, Ali, first off, congratulations. And to see it come, there's nothing like seeing something come from your ideas and your dreams and all of that to actually see it in fruition. So first off, again, I think that's, I get off on that. I love that about my job. And so hopefully I've met a lot of you guys as well. And any way to continue growing that, I think that's what we want to be as a state. We want to be where we actually are seeing dreams come true. We want to see where ideas are starting here. We want to see where we're actually starting to fund these type of ideas. What Todd and what they have created is incredible with High Res and really putting us on the map. What actually educated me on this whole space, we actually did a trade mission 4 or 5 years ago. And we took 4 or 5 of our game companies. And when I say that these guys are rock stars outside of Georgia, I was just blown away, man. So we had a booth, and you had all of these folks coming up that already knew about them. And then they actually played Smite in one of the stadiums, so I got a chance to just see over 20,000 people playing this game, and people were literally watching it. This was 4 or 5 years ago. And then we talked, obviously, afterward into the different folks. It's like, hey, man, how do we do that here? How can we grow that here in Georgia? And this is the fruition of a lot of that happening. I also like to say that just like Todd said, we don't do this by ourselves. We just have incredible partners, incredible support. And I'm already seeing, Allie, how you're getting a lot of that just from walking around and talking to folks. So I'd like to thank some of my partners who are here today. Andrew Greenberg runs the GGDA. Very humble, and will not talk about all that he has done to grow this. And really thank you, Andrew, from me for always being there for me when I need you. And then my next introduction is somebody, and hopefully you guys have met him, and he's just been just as incredible and has really done it with the Metro Chamber and really getting a lot of our companies outside of gaming or entertainment companies to actually look at this space and get involved in this space and grow this space. So from him, we've actually been able to do some incredible thought leadership, think tanks, stuff like that on how we can really grow this space. So the future is very bright. Thank you guys for tolerating me for a few minutes here. And I am introducing you to one of our big players in the state of Georgia, Mr. Grant.
And damn, I mean, can you imagine this is actually happening? You know, we've got people gaming live, we've got world champion teams, and we've got a full house 10 feet from the Atlanta Beltline. I mean, on a beautiful day like this, so much to be proud of. Thank you, Asante. I can't say enough about the Georgia Department of Economic Development, Asante's leadership. We have so many partners that have really helped shape this ecosystem. We're just one of them, and frankly, not the most important by any means partner in the room, but we're just honored to be part of the team. So when Asante says, think tank and thought leadership, that usually means, we break out the booze about 4 o'clock and start talking about what we should do in esports in Georgia, which can come up with some really creative ideas, I gotta be honest. So we plan to do a lot more of that here. But we have, to Asante's point, we have created something called the Esports Think Tank, and it's taking leaders like Todd and Andrew and Asante and others in our region, Cole, and so many people that are part of the esports community, and working with the universities, working with our big brands, working with Turner and others who are in this space but really want to do more, and trying to figure out how do we promote this around the world. I mean, we know this is a kick-ass place to live and work and play and game, but we still have to tell that story around the world, and that's really where our partners come into play, and that's why you see us on planes, that's why you see us, posting, tweeting, hashtagging from every place from Amsterdam to China to Germany to LA, to Douglasville. So it's important that, the rest of the world really understand we aren't just one company. We're not just a one-hit wonder in Georgia, right? We are everything from the ecosystem that supports hardware, from our controller companies and frequency button companies trying to figure out latency issues. We are dev. We're actual publishers. We're the headquarters of the television networks that are pushing this out. There's so many pieces to this ecosystem that we've got to be able to really tell that story. So that's frankly what all of the partners are here to do, and we need every one of you out there. And so my challenge to you tonight and going forward is help us be that cheerleader. I know you already are, but let's make sure we all have the same talking points, and how many teams are here. Everything that Skillshot and Hi-Rez is doing, that all of our teams, all the pieces of the ecosystem, you've kind of got those facts and figures ready to go so that when you're out traveling and you're playing in some really cool places around the world, and as you all travel and have colleagues, that they know what is so great about the city and the region and the state that we love so much. So that's really it. One of the amazing partners that Asante mentioned already, and can't be understated as to the importance of how much they've affected the growth of the gaming industry is Georgia Game Developers Association. So we got a kick-ass gamer, a developer, a champion, a future politician, lobbyist, and just all-around badass guy, Andrew Greenberg, who's going to tell you a little bit about GGDA and some of the amazing things that they've got going on. So, Andrew?
Hey, yeah, it's great to see everybody out here. It's been amazing what Ali and the team have done with this facility, coming in here when it was empty and a bunch of computers stacked up in a corner with not sure if they could go together. This has just been tremendous. But I have been making my living as a game developer since 1990. That's a while ago. Some of you were probably just in college then. Most of you were just in college at that point, I think. But we've seen an amazing growth in Georgia in game development. 7th largest in the country now. Just an amazing growth curve here, thanks in part to great developers, great companies like Hi-Rez and Todd and the entire team out there, but also with a forward-thinking progressive legislature on this topic that is seeing the industries of the future coming here. And one thing that some of you may not know is that we've got a film tax credit here that's bringing a film industry. I know, that's amazing. You were not aware of that. The amazing part is that that credit also covers live streaming. For all of you who live stream, that's something that can affect you directly. Yes, there's a $500,000 spend that's required for that, so reach into the pockets, look behind the couch, but there are investors who will put into that. So you might not have known this, but while the legislature was saying, film's incredible, and we now have a $10 billion a year impact from films in Georgia, they're also saying, wait a minute, there are technologies that are going to be even more important in the future. So yes, video games are a part of the tax credit, and so is live streaming. And while I love being in game development, and in the U.S. it's a $43 billion a year industry, worldwide $120 billion a year, and esports is maybe $2 billion right now. I expect within a generation, esports live streaming is going to be past what game development is. And because of things like the tax credit, because of facilities like Access Replay, we can make Georgia that hub. When people think about esports right now, they're thinking South Korea, they're thinking LA, they're thinking Vegas. And thanks to Hi-Rez and DreamHack and Turner, they're thinking Atlanta, they're thinking Georgia. And the more all of you start doing that live streaming and build up to that level, the more they'll be thinking here. And I expect in the next few years, you'll be the people getting that tax credit just like Sony and Disney are right now, and that'll make amazing things happen here. So I'll leave with two things. A, we have a game development event tomorrow at Kennesaw State University. If you're interested in making games, come out there from 10 to 2 at their Marietta campus. And for the esports side, I love the fact that a lot of people here are involved in the state championship the Georgia Esports League is putting on April 6th at Georgia State University. Who here is involved in Pantherland? Oh, just applaud. Don't raise your hand. No one's going to look. There we go. And I know Hi-Rez and others will be coming out to give presentations on streaming and all the rest. And we'll be giving away the only scholarships in the world for shoutcasting. So if you're a college student, if you want to win money there, come on out. We'd love to have Slice out there and others. So thank you all very much, and I look forward to you getting the tax credits in a few years.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out again. And also thanks to the Access Replay team. Where are you guys? Woo! As always, they deliver on my, hey, 2 days notice. So thank you. We appreciate it. It's how gaming works, right? So, but once again, enjoy yourselves. There's food to eat, drinks, beverages, not drinks, but, next time. We're in the process of getting our liquor license, so 20-ish more days from what I hear, so we'll let you guys know. Make sure to sign up for our newsletter for a lot of different events that we're holding. We'd love to invite you back. Like to finish off with MCOL with Rise Ventures, one of our strategic partners, and also thank you so much to Skillshot and Hi-Rez. When I met with Todd over a year ago now, and told him what our concept was, they have been the most supportive partners that anybody could ever have. So, as well as the Georgia Game Developers Association and Asante, Economic Development, and the Chamber. So these guys are phenomenal, and with your help, we're gonna make Atlanta the hub in the US for esports. Give it up.
All right. got a few call to actions here. So how many of you guys are really enjoying yourself here? All right? You know, how many of you would really like for Access Replay to continue to stay here, flourish, and grow, right? All right? Okay. So then we all have a job to do. We all have a chance to roll up our sleeves, right? So invite some of your friends here. Even if they don't understand how to spell games or gaming or esports or anything like that, like how I was confused on the Combine. I thought I was going to get a chance to, relive college days or something like that, But honestly, invite folks here. Bring them here, because the faster our community and ecosystem can galvanize around the fact that gaming and esports is a critical pillar, is an anchor here in our community across the state, that's going to help all of us grow. My thoughts is that anything gaming and esports live, work, and play should all intersect and come through Access Replay. Do you agree? All right. So, yes, this is about gaming and esports, yes, but you can do all types of events here. You can, somebody was like, oh my gosh, I want to do my birthday party here. I'm like, yes, do it. So invite folks, invite your professional organizations to come here and have a meeting, challenge them to think outside the box, some of your different organizations, even your job, have them come here for a night out. Your employee resource group, just have them come and engage and participate. There's so much, here, and who knows, you may get a chance to murder somebody on a game like I'm going to do culture later on this evening. That's right. He had it coming. But seriously, thank you all so much for coming out. There will be a lot of activity this year around all things gaming and esports, and please show up if you can. If you have a free 30 minutes or an hour, if you can't stay the entire time, please show up because it does make a difference. For those that are trying to figure it out, or especially those that are looking to invest capital, and even from our politicians and economic development supporters, they need to see you and they need to hear from you. So some of the individuals that are here, tell them, go up to them and say, hey, I'm very excited that you're here. Thank you for supporting it. Please continue to support because it does make a difference. Because of course for us, we wanted to win. We needed for it to win, so for them hearing it from the community, makes all the difference in the world. A few last bit of news to share with you guys. So for those of you who were able to participate in Esports Week or attend Esports Week last year in partnership with DreamHack, we are bringing Esports Week back again in November here in Atlanta. Yeah. Entertaining sponsors and partners. And we also have the pleasure to continue to work with DreamHack to go beyond Esports Week Atlanta. We'll be in Dallas and in Montreal as well. So we're excited to be spreading the good gospel of esports and gaming to other places and letting them know how pivotal and how important Atlanta, Georgia is in the equation. So without further ado, the last call to action item I have is that if you were a speaker or a panelist, if you can come on the stage for a photo, and for everyone else, please eat, game, and be merry. Thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to your continued support. Go Access Replay.